Really, I think such an important issue. It was prior to the pandemic, and we're talking about childhood obesity. There were more than 17.3 million kids here in the state between the ages of 10 to 17 that were thought to have childhood obesity. And that's not taking into consideration this past year with COVID-19 and all the kids not going into the classroom, they're sitting in front of their computer screens. So it's so important to talk about getting our kids active. With us now on the show, we're happy to have Ralph Tompkins. He's the owner, S.W.A.G Kids Gym. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
Okay, I can already feel the energy off of you. You're a happy person.
Absolutely. It's me.
So with that, Ralph, though, tell us about your gym. You cater to kids?
Absolutely. So our gym is a gym for kids, which is super awesome because there aren't a ton of them out there in the world. So we start as young as 10 months. We go all the way up through when they beginning to hit high school, so 12, 13. So we cover a little bit of everything from gymnastics to ninja warrior classes to beginning kids strength training and learning how to properly work out. So we service a range of different opportunities.
What I love as I was on your website is the terminology that you all use, and that it's education of physical literacy. How'd you come up with that?
Yeah, so it's more than just S.W.A.G is more than just about play. We want all of our kids and our parents who have to interact within classes for kids that are under the age of 4, they get to join in with their kids. We want the parents and the kids to have an understanding of why they do what they do as far as exercise. So that's what physical literacy is all about, is building that confidence, comfort, and understanding of why exercise is great and the reasoning behind being able to do exercise so they understand what they're doing. So it's more than just play, it's an understanding and an education of learning what you're doing.
I will say, though, as adults, sometimes we forget, like when we were told, hey, it's recess, go out and play. We didn't realize that, like, the extra energy and calories that was burning until you become an adult and then you have to play with a kid. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So with that, can I talk to you just about what's it been like for your gym over the past year? Because gyms were closed, then they were open, then they're open in capacity. But yet we also know kids are remote learning and they're not getting the physical activity that they did before.
Yeah. So as you can imagine, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but with the gym being closed, we actually were able to create more opportunities for us to do outreach. So kids are still able to have that potential outlet. So obviously, like we're on right now, we did a lot of Zoom gym classes, which were super big. It was good for us to be able to interact with different schools, different kids that came here, and just being able to see their faces and interact in a way where we can guide some exercise. So that's been great. And then when the gyms weren't open still in the summer, we actually took our equipment out to houses, and people were, getting a group of friends at their house, and we ran gym class there. So it's been really great. It's allowed us to be super creative despite the gym being closed when, the stay-at-home order was in place. We were able to go outside. We were able to do Zoom calls. We were still able to do all those things to get that interaction with kids. So as hard as it was to have a gym shut down for a few months, it created extra opportunities for us to reach out to the community and still get that exercise outlets for kids, which was super needed and necessary. So it was a blessing in disguise.
So with that, Ralph, I have to ask you, how did you get so interested in focusing a gym on just kids?
So before I started my own gym, I worked at a national company that was called The Little Gym. So it focused and centered around kids. And I worked there for 5 years and loved their concept, but literally just wanted to expand more. So took the risk, took the jump, and now it's a great opportunity to incorporate some of the things that I learned from being in the community of West Bloomfield for 5 years, working for that company and expanding it into my own and making it my own vision in regards to so many things that so many kids need in their life.
You know, it's so important to start those habits at a young age. We're joined with Ralph Tompkins. He's the owner of S.W.A.G Kids Gym. And with that, I think it's great that you've been able to get creative and kind of take the gym on the road, per se. What advantages or things that you've had to shift throughout the pandemic that you think you maybe wouldn't have explored prior, but now you've come to realize this might be a good business model?
You know, I think the biggest thing is, the biggest thing that we've taken away as a company and I've taken away as a business owner is that flexibility and being adaptive to the current environment is something that is literally super important. So I would have, honestly, when I built this out, I would have never thought to take the show on the road, so to speak. But it's actually a great way. Like when we were out on the road, we had an opportunity to actually get to know the families a little bit better, because when you come to the comfort of somebody's home, everybody's just a little bit more relaxed and welcoming. And it's actually, from a structure standpoint, it's actually a little bit nicer, because whatever we're able to bring in our truck is they get to play with. As opposed to in the gym, there's so many different options of things that they can do inside the gym. It actually centers the focus on exercise, and their kids, you actually see their true character when they're at home.
That is so true. But I love that you used they get to play with, because I think for parents too, when we're talking about this, if we approach it from a child standpoint, it's play, but it's also trying to create those lifelong habits that will keep them healthy.
Exactly. So that's what is that, and that's why we start so young. And a lot of times, we might get some 10-month-old, 12-month-old, 14-month-old. They may be shy or just hesitant to do things, but the more you put them in an atmosphere where, it's consistent, they see the same people, they do the same things, they see the same things, they get more comfortable in it. And then, of course, when they become, more confident and less shy, then you really see their motor skills develop, and you see their social skills and physical skills really flourish. So that's why we like to start it early. And then, of course, for those kids who had to take that unfortunate break from school due to the pandemic, what it gives them is literally, like you said, the recess touched on, is an opportunity to have an outlet, but they're learning through exercise, which makes their experience really, really good. And they still get to be in that environment like they're used to, being around other kids, doing the same thing and having the same energy and focusing on the same exercise. So it's a win-win for literally all the age groups that we service.
So Ralph Tompkins with us here on the MegaCast. He is the owner for S.W.A.G Kids Gym. And I have to ask Ralph, with that, when we look at childhood obesity, it has been on the rise prior to the pandemic, and those numbers are expected to be so much worse when we start to look at the numbers coming out of the pandemic. We now have like a year of kids that have been remote learning. Like, it's just those little things, getting up, moving from class to class, and this, that, and the other. They're not doing that now. Well, what advice do you have to parents if they have a child that they just can't get motivated to move?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, obviously this year has been like a challenge for everybody. It really has. But, from the parental standpoint, I think looking into now programs like ours and, outdoor things of that nature, they're starting to open up. So the biggest thing I can say is literally like, get your kid involved in a program, something like S.W.A.G or maybe like a sport or different like that. So it literally just introduces the concept of like group play, exercise, moving, fun. Also, literally just, something simple as like, hey, fam, let's go ahead and just go for a walk. Let's go for a run. Let's go to the park. Let's just do something to get out of the house, because, you need that. I think everybody understands that they need to be able to see something different other than their house. So literally the first step is literally just getting out the house, and maybe just walking in the driveway for 10 minutes. And then, what comfort levels grow, and everybody has different various comfort levels, which I completely respect. then you look into programs like S.W.A.G, because what you find is when you're involved in something and kids have an understanding where they're able to join and be a part of a group and exercise and learn, it's a great experience for them, and it kind of makes up for that lost time when you're getting involved and getting moving. So, I mean, definitely look out to different programs that you would want your kid to be a part of. Or if you're not comfortable with that yet, just literally head outside, go for a walk, go for a run. Even if it's for 10 minutes, it's better than no minutes.
And don't you find too, I mean, even as adults, it's like half the challenge is getting to the gym, or getting outdoors. But once you're outdoors, you're, more inspired to stay outdoors and keep going. It's just getting them out in front of the computer screen, because they're learning, playing video games, watching Netflix. It's become their life.
Yeah.
Whereas we were like, I don't know about you, but when I grew up, my parents were like, go out and play and don't come home until it's dark.
Yeah, figure it out, right? Yeah.
I don't think we see that happening any longer with that. Ralph Tompkins with us here. He's the owner of S.W.A.G Kids Gym. Ralph, tell us more about some of the programs that you offer and where you're located.
Sure. So we offer year-round classes. So that's our bread and butter. Year-round classes for ages 10 months all the way up through 14 years old. Again, gymnastics, sports, ninja warrior, beginning strength training. We also do birthday parties. We also, like I mentioned earlier, come to your house and do a gym class. We do Zoom classes. You can literally book a group of friends to come in the gym and do a private gym class. We do Zoom. So we got several different streams where people can utilize our services. And we're located on 14 Mile and Hagerty Road. In our complex is Walgreens, it's Tropical Smoothie, it's FedEx. We're right across the street from Panera. And then, we offer unlimited classes. So we have $50 a month. You can come for unlimited classes, as many classes as your kid can schedule in. We offer that. And you even get to try a class out for free to see if you like it. So the information on that is swagkidsgym.com. We have our social media at swagkidsgym.com, both on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
So with that, Ralph, can I ask too? Oh, by the way, I was watching a Ninja Warrior last night on TV. They are insane. That is like, that's insanity. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But the cool thing about the gym is most of our Ninja Warrior equipment is padded. So like if parents are, wondering about, it could be dangerous, which having a kid, speaks for itself. You're always on alert, right? But our facility and our equipment is padded. So they get to take those extreme risks, but they get to do it safely inside the gym, kind of speaking to the Ninja Warrior piece.
So with that too, do the parents need to stay there with their kids too?
We do have a lot of drop and goes now. So if parents have kids over the age of 4 and they feel comfortable dropping off, we're all right with it. It's good. If not, we have massage chairs, we have couches, we got TVs, we got everything for them to just kind of lounge and relax. But if you're under 4, you got to stay in. But if you're over 4, you can drop and go.
And how long are most of the classes?
They range anywhere from 45 minutes for our little guys that are under the age of 4, up to an hour-long classes for 4 and up. So there's a lot of energy and a lot of activity and a lot of structured activities that go on within those time frames for each respective groups.
So I would think, though, when the kids go home, they're exhausted. They want a nap.
Definitely like 4 and under, for sure. And it's crazy. Parents that kind of just literally plan out like, okay, wake up, get breakfast, go to the gym, maybe prepare lunch, and then it's nap time. So a lot of parents like that, okay, I got 3 hours right there, like 3 hours of nap time so I can get some stuff done after gym class. Sometimes for the older kids, we'll find that it gives them actually more energy at home, but they sleep a little bit better. But
Yeah.
with young ones, usually it tuckers them out and they get a mid-afternoon nap. So it all depends on your kid. We don't guarantee your kid after they take an hour gym class, they're going to go right to bed. but at the same time, I mean, their day is really made, and it really makes the day a lot easier for the parents too as well. Kind of wind days down.
And we know so many parents right now need that break. They need that time just to go. So it's not only so much about getting their kids the physical activity that they need. And I think it's great that you're talking about physical literacy, because gym classes have been canceled or cut throughout this entire pandemic. And it's so important to get our kids engaged and get them moving, but also to create those lifetime habits to keep them healthy.
100%.
Ralph Tompkins with us here. He's the owner for S.W.A.G Kids Gym. Hey, Ralph, one last question. Can I drop on my dog? She is like full time. And so if we don't have time to take her to the park and tire her out, she's like a pest all day long.
No, we're going to have to create it. Now, my head's always thinking of new ideas to incorporate it. And it's crazy because my gym director, Katie, she loves dogs. I like dogs. I don't do much with them, but she's a dog lover. And I'm sure if I incorporated that, she would absolutely love that piece. But you never know what comes in the future, right? Opportunities are opportunities.
Well, we so appreciate that parents, that they should take advantage of the services that you're offering as well. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.